Something's shifting. You felt it, haven't you? That electric hum in the air, the way your thoughts have been racing lately, the strange intensity creeping into everyday conversations. It's not your imagination. Tomorrow, the moon enters Gemini, and this cosmic event is about to rewire how you think, communicate, and connect with everyone around you. Most people will miss it entirely. They'll wake up, grab their coffee, scroll through their phones, and wonder why they feel so restless. But you're different. You're already tuning into the frequency, and by the time you finish reading this, you'll understand exactly what's coming and how to harness it. The storm beneath the surface. When you hear Gemini moon, you might picture light, breezy energy, witty banter, playful conversations, social butterfly vibes. Forget all that. This transit is deeper, stranger, and far more powerful than the textbook descriptions suggest. Here's why. This Gemini moon isn't happening in a vacuum. Mercury, Gemini's ruling planet, is currently moving through the intense, probing waters of Scorpio. At the same time, Venus and Saturn are locked in a challenging opposition, testing every relationship in your life and forcing you to confront the gap between your romantic ideals and harsh reality. What does this cosmic cocktail create? A communication crucible. For the next 2.5 days, every conversation carries extra weight. Every thought has deeper implications. Every connection either strengthens or reveals its cracks. This isn't just another day on the calendar. This is a turning point disguised as a Tuesday. Your mind becomes a battlefield. Get ready for mental whiplash. The Gemini moon wants to pull your attention in 1,000 directions at once. You'll feel curious about everything, eager to learn, hungry for new information. Your brain will light up like a pinball machine, bouncing from idea to idea with electric enthusiasm. But then Mercury in Scorpio grabs you by the collar and drags you underwater. Suddenly, that passing thought becomes an obsession. That casual question turns into a full-blown investigation. What started as light curiosity morphs into a compulsive need to uncover the truth, to dig deeper, to understand the hidden motivations behind every situation and person in your life. Can you feel the tension? Air versus water, breadth versus depth, the scattered energy of Gemini fighting against the laser focus of Scorpio. Here's what most people don't realize. This isn't a bug, it's a feature. The universe is training you to hold contradictions, to be both broad and deep simultaneously. While everyone else experiences this as anxiety or overthinking, you can transform it into a superpower. Pay attention to what keeps circling back in your mind during this transit. If a question won't leave you alone, if a conversation keeps replaying on loop, that's not random mental noise. That's Scorpio showing you what needs your attention, what demands to be uncovered and transformed. Your mind is preparing you for something bigger. Keep reading. Talk becomes soul talk. The masks are coming off. Tomorrow, when the moon enters Gemini, communication channels fly wide open. But what pours through isn't the usual surface-level chatter. It's raw, unfiltered truth, the kind that changes relationships forever. You'll start a conversation about weekend plans and somehow end up discussing childhood wounds. You'll ask a colleague how their project is going and find yourself in a deep dive about their unfulfilled dreams. You'll text a friend about dinner and accidentally stumble into an unhealed rift in your relationship. This isn't about saying the wrong thing. The veil between polite conversation and soul-level communication is simply dissolving. The Gemini moon gives you the words, but Mercury in Scorpio loads them with psychological depth and emotional stakes. Every conversation becomes an opportunity for breakthrough or breakdown. And here's the part that will blow your mind. You'll develop an almost psychic ability to read between the lines. When someone talks to you, you'll sense the subtext, the hidden meaning, the truth beneath their carefully chosen words. Trust those gut feelings. They're not coincidence. They're your Scorpio-enhanced perception cutting through the noise. Some people will confess things they've been holding back for months. Others will finally ask the questions they've been too afraid to voice. Prepare yourself for exchanges that don't just share information, but fundamentally transform your reality. And when someone brings up a topic that makes your stomach clench, when a message appears that makes your heart race, don't run from it. That's the universe trying to tell you something you desperately need to hear. The emotional trap. Nobody warns you about. Here's where things get tricky. While your mind races and conversations deepen, something strange happens to your emotions under this Gemini moon. They get intellectualized. Instead of feeling your emotions directly, you'll find yourself analyzing them, rationalizing them, talking about them rather than experiencing them. It's like watching your feelings through soundproof glass. You can see them moving around, but you can't quite touch them. This creates an illusion of emotional processing. You think that if you can just understand why you feel something, if you can just explain it clearly enough, the emotion will resolve itself. But some feelings can't be talked away. They need to be felt, lived through, metabolized in your body rather than your brain. The moon's primary function is emotional security, and under Gemini's influence, you'll try to meet that need through verbal expression and intellectual understanding rather than deeper, nonverbal connection. Meanwhile, the Venus-Saturn opposition delivers the cold, hard punch of loneliness, dissatisfaction, or limitation. Feelings that break through your intellectual defenses and demand to be felt. Watch for the disconnect between your thoughts and your body. If you're mentally calm but your stomach is in knots, if you're logically fine but can't sleep, that's emotions being pushed underground rather than processed. This transit is teaching you to integrate head and heart, to think deeply without losing touch with what you feel. It's a delicate balance, and most people will fail at it. But you're already ahead because you're aware, you're watching, you're learning. Your social energy transform. The social butterfly energy of Gemini isn't showing up the way you'd expect. Yes, you'll feel drawn to connect with people, but Mercury in Scorpio completely changes who you want to connect with and how. You might find yourself at a party feeling pulled toward intense one-on-one conversations in the corner rather than working the room. Or you might feel a sudden aversion to group gatherings entirely, craving the depth of someone who truly sees you over the superficiality of networking. Your social needs are evolving in real time. Pay attention to who suddenly fascinates you during this transit. These people aren't appearing randomly. They're mirrors showing you what kind of connection your soul is craving right now. Some relationships will deepen dramatically over the next few days, while others will suddenly feel hollow or exhausting. And if you find yourself withdrawing socially, don't panic. This isn't antisocial behavior, it's selective social behavior. Quality over quantity, depth over breadth. Your energy is precious right now, and not everyone deserves access to it. The focus shifts toward intellectual compatibility. You need people who can provide mental stimulation, engaging conversation, shared humor, and genuine curiosity. If the mental spark isn't there, you'll feel it acutely. Boredom and restlessness will set in fast. This is your soul sorting through your social circle, keeping what serves you and releasing what doesn't. The dreams that aren't really dreams. Remember when I mentioned strange dreams with impossibly deep conversations? Here's what's really happening. Your mind becomes hyperactive under the Gemini moon. Thoughts race, ideas connect, information processes even when you're trying to rest. This creates a unique dream state where conversations become the central theme. You'll have long, detailed discussions with people from your past. You'll debate with strangers who feel oddly familiar. You'll receive advice from figures who speak with unusual clarity and wisdom. These aren't ordinary dreams. They're conversations across the veil, your subconscious using the Gemini moon's communicative energy to deliver messages your waking mind hasn't been ready to receive. If you dream about someone you haven't thought about in years, that's not random. That's your higher self bringing buried insights to the surface. If you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. with a thought that seems to come from nowhere, write it down immediately. That's not insomnia. That's direct communication from your higher consciousness using this cosmic window to reach you when your defenses are down. This disrupted sleep isn't a problem to solve. It's a gateway to access parts of yourself usually hidden from view. Your past returns with a purpose. Old conversations you thought were finished are about to continue. Messages you never sent will demand to be voiced. Words left unspoken will rise to the surface. But this isn't about haunting. It's about healing. The tension between Gemini's airy intellect and Scorpio's watery depth creates a unique opportunity. You can now see old situations from multiple perspectives while simultaneously understanding the deeper psychological patterns that created them. The Venus-Saturn opposition adds another layer, bringing up themes of commitment, boundaries, duties, past disappointments, and deep-seated fears in relationships. Conversations will naturally gravitate toward these heavy topics. If someone from your past suddenly reaches out, if an old message thread resurrects itself, if a memory keeps looping in your mind, that's energy-seeking resolution. That's unfinished business demanding transformation. This combination creates what I call a karmic filter. First, the Gemini moon opens communication channels. Second, Mercury in Scorpio directs these conversations toward deep, transformative issues. Finally, Venus-Saturn acts as the ultimate gatekeeper, testing whether connections are built on solid foundations or pleasant distractions. This isn't just about closure. It's about liberation. It's about finally understanding why certain patterns keep repeating, why certain types of people keep appearing, why you keep having the same arguments in different relationships. And once you understand, you can choose differently. The decisions that echo into your future. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. The next 2.5 days aren't just another cosmic blip. They're an inflection point in your story. Any relational issue that surfaces during this transit isn't a fleeting problem. It's connected to a deeper, long-standing pattern that requires maturity, responsibility, and brutal honesty to resolve. Saturn, the Lord of time and consequences, ensures that whatever comes up now carries karmic weight. The choices you make, the words you speak, the connections you form or break, the conversations you have or avoid, will echo into your future far longer than you realize. This transit is revealing the underlying patterns that have been directing your life from behind the curtain. And for possibly the first time, you have the clarity and opportunity to break cycles that have been running on autopilot for years. The celestial energy poses one unavoidable question for every relationship in your life. Is this connection built on a solid foundation of mutual respect and reality, or is it merely a pleasant distraction from deeper issues? The answer, comfortable or not, will become crystal clear. Your mission for the next 48 hours. Your primary task is simple but not easy. Sift through the mental noise to find the real signal. The Gemini moon creates a feeling of having 100 browser tabs open in your brain. Meanwhile, Mercury in Scorpio demands laser focus on what's truly significant. Expect rapid shifts from small talk to existential conversations. The sociable impulse may open a door, but Scorpio will walk through it and ask the uncomfortable, probing questions about secrets, intimacy, mortality, psychological patterns, or shared resources. The challenge is to remain present and honest even when conversations venture into territory you typically avoid. Remember this: the discomfort you feel isn't a warning sign, it's a growth sign. The universe is pushing you exactly where you need to go, even if it feels intimidating or impossible right now. When the moon moves out of Gemini in 2.5 days, you won't be the same person. Your relationships will have shifted, your understanding of yourself will have deepened, your communication patterns will have transformed. That's not a side effect. That's the entire point. The cosmic weather is perfect for breakthroughs. The question is, will you lean into the transformation or resist it? The choice, as always, is yours.